Alright everybody, so I have finished 4 weeks of alternate day fasting and I have to say I'm pretty happy with the results, but I'm not so happy with certain things about the way my body and I feel about alternate day fasting. So I'm going to have a little bit of a discussion here. It's probably not going to be heavily edited, it's probably just going to be mostly a train of thought and sharing some of my thoughts and feelings and results. So I guess the thing that you probably want to know the most first up is the results. So I've finished 4 weeks, so 28 days on alternate day fasting. Now you know I've had some rough spots, you know I've had iffy days here and there, but I did end up losing 6.6 kilos in this first 4 weeks, which equates to 14.5 pounds. And I'm really happy with that. That's actually far more than I thought, and I'm extremely happy. I don't know where it's come from. I mean, I can look at my body measurements and tell you. I've got my laptop here with everything on it, so I can tell you. The only thing that I realize I haven't worked out is my change in body fat, which I will do and edit out the gap to tell you. Right, so as I said, 6.6 kilos of weight lost, which is 14.5 pounds, and I have also lost about 2.3% body fat. So I guess that's good. I haven't actually worked out, like, 'cause to begin with I was 45% fat, which is quite a terrifying thing to think of. And I'm now 42.7% fat. So yeah, so that's an improvement. I'm happy with that. I haven't done the calculations to figure out whether all of my weight loss was fat or whether it included probably water that I was, retaining, or hopefully I've not lost any muscle. I've been as active as usual, so hopefully that is not the case. So for my measurements, I have lost 13 inches overall on my body. The biggest loss actually was just under my bust, so sort of around that spare tire kind of area. I actually lost 3.5 inches around that circumference. My bust went down by 2 inches, my waist went down by 2.5 inches, my hips went down by 2 inches, and my legs have pretty much stayed the same. I think one of my thighs went down by about 1.5 inches, but the rest of the measurements kind of stayed the same. My neck is also slightly smaller. I've lost 1/2 inch around my neck. So overall I'm pretty happy with that. So that's where I said I don't know where the weight has come off, because I feel like I don't look any different, but looking at the measurements, clearly most of the weight has come off around my torso. Yes, the most of the weight clearly has come off my torso, which is the best result that I could have asked for, because the visceral fat around my organs and things like that is what I'm mostly worried about for the health effects that that can have. So that's pretty much where I stand. That's where my body is at this point in time, and I have been having some sort of soul searching. I've been doing some soul searching. I'll just close my computer. About the alternate day fasting and how I'm coping with that, because I don't really feel like I am coping very well with it, to be honest. I've passed the point where I have any kind of bad reaction. I haven't had any dizzy spells, I haven't had any lightheadedness, nothing like that for a good 2.5 weeks probably. So it was only that very beginning sort of stages that was happening. However, I do really struggle on fast days, and I think a lot of that has come down to because I found this idea through Rachel Sharp, who I've mentioned before. If you don't know about her, I often link to her channel down in the description, and she lives, I don't want to say she lives a sedentary life, because she doesn't. She does a lot of exercise. However, her day job, I have heard the news that she has just quit her day job, so props to her, good job. But the fact that she, for the most of her weight loss, was sitting all day in an office, you know, sort of 9 to 5 kind of office job, meant that she probably wasn't burning as much energy as I do every day. So I've had the thought that I'm very, very active. I'm always walking, I'm always standing, I'm always doing something. Plus my work as a yarn dyer is very labor intensive. There's a lot of lifting, there's a lot of walking and standing and things like that. So every day I do burn a lot of energy. And I think by not eating on the fast days, that's where I'm running into problems, is because I get so hungry to the point where I cannot even, oftentimes either I am absolutely miserable or I break and then I eat more than I would have normally. So I've kind of recently been introduced to a different sort of system. There is a thing at my husband's work where they bring in books and gifts and things like that at a discounted price. And there was a book there by Michael Mosley, who I am familiar with anyway because I have tried his 5-2 diet previously. And it is his new book, or newish, I don't know how old it is because obviously it's in that discount book box, and it's called The Fast 800, and I brought it home over the weekend just to have a bit of a read because obviously I hadn't purchased it yet. I just wanted to see if it was something that would be of interest to me, and I brought home the book and I was just fascinated by all the studies in it, and the idea that for at least the first 2 weeks, or you know, however long, you know, if you've got more weight to lose, obviously you might stay on this system longer, but the first 2 weeks he suggests to do 800 calories every day and have at least a 12-hour fasting window within that day. So I'm kind of thinking that I might work towards that, because I think having at least a little bit of something to eat every day is probably where I really need to be because of the amount of energy that I do burn. So today was meant to be a fast day. I thought for my second 4 weeks, I might try this 800 calorie a day thing. And instead of doing 12 hours eating, 12 hours fasting like the book suggests for beginners, because I've already been doing this alternate day fasting, I'm going to attempt to go straight to 16-8. So 16 hours of fasting, 8-hour eating window. And I'm also going to be attempting to just have 2 separate meals with no snacks in between. Just so I do get that extra little bit of fasting in the middle, so my body can entirely process what it ate for lunch before I eat dinner. So today I didn't eat anything until 12:30, which would have given me I think 16.5 hours between my pizza last night and my lunch today, which was some more spicy tuna, but I'll talk about that in my actual week 5 part 1 video. So that's what I'm thinking I might try going forward. So it's still going to involve the fasting, but it's going to be ultra low calorie. So it's this real, I don't want to say shock to the system. That's not quite right. Like, it's the real hitting it, but I can still eat every day and try and maintain some amount of energy, because I have been I'm very down at the moment. I don't know how much of that is to do with the mental health issues that I already have. I do have clinical depression and anxiety. I am being treated for those things, and so I'm not sure whether it's because of that or whether it's because of the fasting. But the last couple of weeks I've had no energy, plus I had my period, but I've had no energy, no motivation to do anything, and I am just kind of feeling a little bit like I just want to crawl into bed and just stay there. So I don't know whether that's because of the fasting or because of the hormones and my mental health, but I do feel better having a little bit to eat. So basically the system that Michael Mosley has proposed in this book is to do like a jump start where you're doing 800 calories per day for at least 2 weeks, and then to move on to a 5-2. So you're doing 5 days of eating like a healthy, he suggests a Mediterranean diet, which is not something that I've ever really looked into before. Sort of a more lowish carb Mediterranean diet while you're losing, and then from there you go to like a 6-1 where you fast 1 day to maintain your weight. But I'm thinking I might mix it up for myself, and but that won't happen. I'm gonna try doing the 800 calories a day for a month and see how that goes, because obviously I've got a lot of weight to lose. I think I still have about 38 kilos at least that I want to lose, and I think I could do the 800 calories a day for the 4 weeks, see how that goes, whether I get, you know, as good results as I did with the alternate day fasting, even though I know as I go along I'm not going to be losing as much per month. And I'm also thinking I might like do my weight a little bit more often. In the book he suggests daily. I don't really like the idea of weighing daily, because I mean there's just so much fluctuation day to day, and I just don't know that that's a good idea, especially for someone who has anxiety and depression, and you know that might just be enough to ruin my day if I measure myself in the morning and I've gone up. And so I kind of want to avoid that, so I'm thinking maybe I'll just do weekly weigh-ins and do monthly measurements. So yeah, I mean obviously I'll weigh in today, make Mondays my weigh-in day from now on, and I will do my measurements at the end of the next 4 weeks. So at the end of week 8 I will do some more body measurements so that we can see how that has changed. So that's kind of where I'm feeling like I'm at the moment. So I'm going to be more intermittent fasting than alternate day fasting, and yeah, I'm just interested to see, I'm kind of experimenting on myself, I think, to see whether, you know, the intermittent fasting 800 calorie a day kind of thing, how that works in comparison to alternate day fasting. And I think after the next 4 weeks, giving that a go, I will make a sort of a judgment call on whether I felt better doing ADF or whether I feel better doing the 800 calorie intermittent fasting, and proceed from there, I think. So that's kind of where I'm at. That's what I'm feeling. So I hope you'll all stick with me, even though I'm changing things up a little bit. I'm still excited to see where this takes me, and I'm already dreaming of all the wonderful things that I can wear for my birthday this year, because I'm hoping I'll be quite a ways down by the time October hits. So yeah, thanks so much for watching and for following along, and I really appreciate you guys taking some time out of your day to check in on me and to leave me lovely comments and giving me that thumbs up, and it really means a lot. So if you do have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I will get back to you as soon as I can, and until, what is it, week 5 part 1, I will talk to you later. Bye.